The journey on the road. In a small village surrounded by mountains and forests, there lived a boy named Tom. Tom was curious and loved adventures. He dreamed of exploring the world beyond his village. One day, his parents told him, "Tom, we are going on a journey to visit your grandparents who live in a distant town." Tom was excited. He packed his bag with clothes, snacks, a notebook, and his favorite book. Early the next morning, Tom, his parents, and his little sister, Lily, set off on their journey. They traveled in a small, old car along a winding road that led through the mountains. The road was long and full of surprises. As they drove, Tom looked out of the window and saw the beautiful scenery. The mountains were tall and covered in green trees. The sky was blue, and the sun was shining. Tom felt happy and excited about the journey ahead. After a few hours, they stopped at a small roadside cafe to rest and have lunch. The cafe was cozy, with wooden tables and chairs. They ate sandwiches and drank lemonade. Tom wrote in his notebook, "The road is full of amazing views. I can't wait to see more." Back on the road, they passed through a dense forest. The trees were tall and the air was cool and fresh. Suddenly, they saw a deer standing by the side of the road. It looked at them curiously before running back into the forest. "That was amazing," Tom exclaimed. "I've never seen a deer up close before." As they continued their journey, the road began to climb higher into the mountains. The car struggled a bit on the steep slopes, but Tom's father was a careful driver. They reached a viewpoint where they could see the entire valley below. They stopped the car and got out to enjoy the view. "This is incredible," Tom said, taking a deep breath of the fresh mountain air. They took some pictures and then continued their journey. The road was narrow and winding, with sharp turns. Tom's mother told stories about her childhood in the mountains, making the journey more enjoyable. "When I was your age, we used to walk these paths," she said. "The road was not here then." After a while, they saw a sign that said rest area. They decided to stop and stretch their legs. There was a small playground where Lily played on the swings, and Tom explored a nearby trail. He found a small stream and dipped his fingers into the cool water. "This place is magical," he thought. As they got back into the car, dark clouds began to gather in the sky. It started to rain heavily, making the road slippery. Tom's father drove carefully, and they listened to the sound of the rain on the roof of the car. The journey became a bit challenging, but Tom enjoyed the adventure. "Rain makes everything look fresh and new," he wrote in his notebook. After a few hours, the rain stopped, and the sun came out again. They reached a wide, open plain with fields of flowers. The road was straight and smooth. Tom saw farmers working in the fields and children playing. "This is such a beautiful country," he thought. As evening approached, they finally saw the town where Tom's grandparents lived. The road led them to a small, cozy house with a garden full of flowers. Tom's grandparents were waiting outside, waving and smiling. "Welcome," they said. "We are so happy to see you." Tom and his family got out of the car and hugged their grandparents. They felt tired but happy after the long journey. They shared stories about the road and the things they saw. Tom's grandparents were delighted to hear about their adventure. That night, as Tom lay in bed, he thought about the journey. He remembered the beautiful mountains, the curious deer, the fresh forest air, and the rain on the roof of the car. He realized that the journey on the road was just as important as the destination. Tom decided to write a story about his adventure. He wrote, "The road to my grandparents' house was full of surprises and beauty. Every turn and stop was an adventure. I learned that the journey is a special part of any trip." The next day, Tom's grandparents took them to explore the town. They visited the local market, the old church, and the beautiful park. Tom enjoyed every moment and felt grateful for the journey that brought him there. The journey on the road had taught Tom to appreciate the beauty of the world around him. He learned that every road has its own story and that every journey is filled with wonderful experiences. And so, Tom's story of the journey on the road became a reminder that life is full of adventures waiting to be discovered. The road may be long and winding, but it is the journey that makes it truly special.